So a little bit ago I had a chance to see Iron Man 3, but I chose to see Place Beyond the Pines instead. And in that review I said I knew for a fact that Place Beyond the Pines would be better in Iron Man 3. After seeing Iron Man 3, do I still agree with myself? Just by like this much. Iron Man 3 stars Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Ben Kingsley, Guy Pearce, Rebecca Hall, Don Cheadle, and is directed by Shane Black, the director of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Iron Man 3 takes place right after the events of the Avengers. Tony Stark, he can't sleep. Tony Stark's having panic attacks, he can't sleep. The events that happened to him in the Avengers have really messed with him. There's also a terrorist called the Mandarin who's been doing bombings around the States and threatening to murder the president. And then Tony Stark challenges him, his home gets destroyed, and he ends up kind of not having his suit for a bit of the movie. It's a lot of Tony Stark outside the suit having to deal with problems using his brain and not his suit of armor, which I thought was pretty neat. It pretty much reminded me of The Dark Knight Rises, where you got Bruce Wayne in the little pit, and it's not a lot of Batman. Not very much Batman. Not a lot of Iron Man in this movie either. Now that bothered people in The Dark Knight Rises, some people anyway, and this will bother some people in Iron Man 3. They'll be like, I just want to see big metal dude fly around and shoot things. It's fun. And yeah, actor Shane Black. Compared to Jon Favreau, I gotta admit, I like Shane Black's direction a little bit more. I thought this was a really funny movie. I've heard Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a really funny movie. I buy it, because this movie was honestly the funniest out of the three. And unlike Iron Man 2, the balance of humor with actual seriousness, it balances out well and it fits. It's not like Iron Man 2 where they're trying to jam in a lot of humor and then it doesn't balance out with all the uber serious moments of Tony Stark dying. And the acting, as always, Robert Downey Jr. just kills it, this guy. No one can ever play Iron Man again. I mean, whenever this is all over, Downey Jr. stops doing the movies, they can't have Iron Man. No one can replace this guy. He's perfect. No one can do it. I stand by it. And Don Cheadle, the last movie, he wasn't any much better or worse than Terrence Howard. They're both kind of equal, but I prefer Terrence Howard just because he's in the first. But they were both in one movie, so couldn't really tell. I like Don Cheadle better now because this movie, he's not such a wet blanket. He's able to have fun and be a real badass. He was really good in this movie. I liked it. He gets to play War Machine, or as he's called now, Iron Patriot. He's like the same War Machine, but he got a Captain America paint job. And I thought he was a really fun character in the movie. Gwyneth Paltrow, I think she was a little bit better in the first movie, but in this movie, she's not in it a whole lot. Like, she's in it more than the Avengers, I'll tell you that. And they updated the suit. He's now at Mark 42, and he's injected like magnets in his arms and body or something, where he just has to do like kung fu moves or something, and then like the suit will just fly over to him, so he could just stand there and be like, and then all of a sudden the suit's attached to him. And this times was epically awesome and cool, and times hilarious. Now the Mandarin, Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin, I really liked him. I thought he was awesome. The whole build up to him in the trailers and stuff. Not exactly how he is in the movie. I'll just leave it at that. There's some things in this movie though they do where it's like hardcore fans of Iron Man are gonna be like so pissed off, and then other like casual people that just kind of know him from the movies are like, I'm cool with that. That'll be fine. Because like the villains too in this movie, all the henchmen, none of them are really well defined. The only one I actually recognized, I forget, James Badge Dale or something. He was in The Departed and Band of Brothers. And I thought he was fine. The Mandarin, Ben Kingsley's pretty good. Guy Pearce in this movie, I thought he was pretty good. They don't have like a whole lot, they're not very deep characters, but they were fine. The action though, man, I like it. You get Tony Stark outside the suit using his intellect, and I like it. I liked it in Dark Knight Rises. I like it here. It's fun. It's different. It's not just Tony Stark, Iron Man suit, blowing things up for 2 hours, because that would get old. We've already had the Avengers, Iron Man, and Iron Man 2. We don't need it again. Change it up a little, and they did, and I like that. I'm very happy they did that. The whole thing, the suits being all attached to him, very cool, and they do some other things with like his armor. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about now, but I'm going to do a spoiler review of it eventually. Just, there's a lot of things I want to talk about that I don't want to spoil that are awesome, so I'm going to talk about it. But this movie, I thought it was written really clever, but you know, like I said, there's some things that are going to bother hardcore Iron Man fans. It'll piss them right the hell off, and they'll probably, like, hate the movie. I'm just not, I've never read the comics, so I was like, I can see why people will be mad, but I really like the things they do, so I'm okay with it. I think Iron Man 1 as a movie overall is slightly better, but I'd rather watch this one more. I think this is a much funner movie, and I prefer it to Iron Man 1, but I can tell this not exactly as good. There's some things with the writing where I'm not going to talk about it, but one thing, the thing that makes me like it so much more, the finales. Iron Man had a terrible finale. I mean, he's beating up Jeff Bridges for a couple minutes, and then he gets zapped on a roof and falls to his death. Iron Man 2, even worse. I mean, there's something flying around, blowing up a few suits, and then Mickey Rourke's there, and they just, boom, blow him up. That's it. It's lame. It sucks. This finale I would put almost right up on the same level as Avengers level awesomeness. It was really good. I love the finale in this movie. I really dug it. It's not quite as good, but I like the movie better. I'll admit it. I'd give Iron Man 3 an A-. If you like this review, like to subscribe, comment below. Tell me what you thought of the movie and what you thought of like the whole twist that was in the story. And then, in a little bit, I'm going to put up my Iron Man 3 spoiler review where I get to go in detail with the things that I really can't talk about here that I want to. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.